It's the Cowboys and Sharks.
Look at him go!
With every game live, a new era begins on Fox Sports. It's a big rivalry that's about to get a whole lot bigger.
He has rifled that into the room. What a finish that is!
Live in HD, Fox Sports.
2015 is underway. There's contact. James Courtney will go back-to-back at the Clipsal 500. And Davison's gone round. Loud sticks it up the inside. They touch. And he now pulls a very smooth move to the top. Well done, Will Davison, race leader. Look at the drama back here. Both of the Holden Racing Team entries. No. Mostert has backed the Pepsi Max Falcon up onto the tyre barrier. Winterbottom clinches the final race. Van Gisbergen tries to fire down the inside, can't get it done, makes contact with Courtney and carted to the outside is Tander. There's chaos in Darwin. The 100th championship race win for Craig Lowndes. What a superstar. Reynolds is putting the pressure right on Winterbottom for the race lead. Frosty manages to hold out a hard-charging David Reynolds. He's niggling, he's pushing and shoving. Why me? Mostert wins on Sunday at the Coates Hire Ipswich Super Sprint. And now Jason Bright fires off. There's contact.
Well done, buddy. You killed him today. Good job.
The season of endurance starts now. Wheel to wheel at the top of the hill at 6. Steve Owen and Mark Winterbottom win the Wilson Security Sandown 500. And the Enduro season has started with a bang. Chaz Mostert, the reigning champion, has had a monumental crash. The biggest prize in Australian motor racing underway. Oh, no! Scott Pye's had a huge accident. One of the legends of the sport creates a little bit of magic at the mountain. Oh, contact. Oh. That's going to be an unsafe release.
Man, that guy was amazing. Thank God.
And Courtney is a winner on the streets of Surfers Paradise. Oh, off the road and a big incident here for Lowndes. He's in the wall. Winterbottom, our championship leader. And Whincup will win the Jason Richards Memorial Trophy. Looks like Van Gisbergen putting pressure on Reynolds. Reynolds is gone. Down the inside goes Whincup. He's made a touch on and he's actually gone by. Lowndes is going to be the winner. Mark Winterbottom does it in 2015. It is a victory in the championship.
Certainly was a season to remember last year in 2015, but now it's 2016. Hard to believe we're starting the new championship as we look to the CBD of Adelaide and getting set for the Aussie racing car. Scott McLaughlin joins me for this one, and your boys on the front row for this one. I think you're more nervous than he is for this one.
I'm pretty excited about it, actually. It's going to be pretty cool. It's the second round ever in the Aussie racing car for Cal, and yeah, looking forward to see how he goes from second.
Let's check out some highlights from qualifying with Trent Young, who got his second pole position back-to-back here on the streets of Adelaide. One of the closest sessions in the 11 years they've been coming to Adelaide. Big moment here for Brendan Pingle, wasn't it?
Yeah, very fast at the turn 1 and 2 there for him, and there's plenty of moments here, very much like Pingle, so it's pretty impressive stuff they've been able to hold on to it without any damage.
Can't stress enough how high these curbs are. James Duckworth tested the limits of the centre chicane, enough to ring your bell more than once.
Definitely don't want to be doing that too many times this weekend.
The way it landed as well. Yeah. Look at the tyre flex on the left rear of the car. A lot of slipstreaming went on during this session. This was Kyle Clues on the outside, who's back this year banging doors. We don't recommend that in practice or qualifying. Save that for the race.
Hopefully we see plenty of that in the race. That's good stuff.
A big high-speed approach down to the turn 9 hairpin. Chris Stevenson had dramas with the Hertz rent-a-car entry. Tyre rubbing on the left front guard there. Nothing to be too concerned about. That tyre might have seen its last racetrack though.
Checking, doing a bit of selfies there in the cockpit, but obviously he's checking the live timing.
We can't confirm or deny that that was actually the case, but
I'm throwing it out there.
It looks good though. Cal Tressler got himself on the front row, but Trent Young secured pole position for the first race of the 2016 series on the streets of Adelaide. So the cars on the grid for this one, they were the first cars out this morning in what you guys describe as dirty or dusty or green tracks. It's had a fair bit of rubber down now, so totally different to what we saw this morning.
Look, they were definitely the track sweepers this morning. They got out there in probably the worst conditions ever, but obviously they've got to try and find a nice setup for that as well, because the track will change a complete amount, a huge amount. So for these guys, it's good to be up the front, but they've got to make sure they're on top of their cars for the next 4 races.
And even with daylight saving here in South Australia, the sun on the approach to the top there at Wakefield Street is going to be a talking point in this race.
Yeah, look, I've raced the Dunlop Series here once or twice, and when we turned up Wakefield Street, and then the next turn after that as well, the sun is really bad around this time of day, so it's going to be interesting how these guys, especially with little cars, you don't have actually that much sun protection, so it's full on.
37 cars took to qualifying, one of the bigger fields we've had here in Adelaide. We haven't seen them since 2014. And Trent Young will be right on board with. He will start from pole position here today. Direct Clutch Services entry, brand new sponsor for him on this car for this year.
Looking forward to seeing how he goes. He was very dominant the whole qualifying session, so he's right at the front the whole time.
Putting some heat into the tyres of these cars. Young and Cressida on the front row. Craig Woods and Brendan Pingle, the 2015 champion. Adam Ubergang and Ben Walsh, just a stacked third row. Kyle Clues is back this weekend in car 17, a 7-time winner here in Adelaide. James Duckworth will join him on the fourth row. Then Grant Ludby and Harley Haber gets himself inside the top 10. Blake Scaberis and David Sultana, the best of the rookie drivers here this weekend. He was 12th, then Luke Fraser and Chris Stevenson. Miles Bond, who had brake fluid go all over his windscreen this morning during qualifying. Craig Thompson joins him on that row, down to Sam Milton, Adam Kasukio out of 20th, and McNamara. Jeff Waters feeling a bit bleary-eyed after returning from the US. Zach Best, the 14-year-old, starts out of 23, down to Michael Rinkin. Reese Chapman and Ruth Bowler starts out of position 30. Eastman and Lynch, Paul Faber down to Lee Bowler, starting out of 37. A lot of cars.
Caught your breath?
Yeah, just. I won't have a lay down now. This is going to be an amazing race around here. 8 laps, and these cars are going to race for sheep stations here. The first of 4 for the weekend as part of this Clipsal 500 for 2016. You've had a pretty reasonably quiet day, apart from being up here. Tomorrow's when it gets serious.
It is. It's a few PR activities and all that sort of stuff, but now we're back into the main thing tomorrow, and I'm just so excited to get back into it. Seeing where we're at, everyone's on 0 points, and just seeing how we go. You teammate with James Moffat alongside you for this year. It's a good combination. Yeah, I think we'll be good. It's I'm looking forward to it. He's a good mate of mine, and I think someone that we can really feed off each other, and I think it's going to be a good time. We're going to have a few blues, but I think at the end of the day, we're going to have a bit of fun as well. And a track that was very kind to you on debut on the Volvo a couple of years back too. I won't refer the comment. You're allowed to be excited. Yeah. So they'll be just trying to get their brake temps warm and their rear tyres warm, so they get a nice slip away off the start here. I'm pretty nervous for my mate here. Yeah, you made me nervous all of a sudden. Yeah, got the shakes there about Treston. You've had a lot to do with this 31-year-old's career. He debuted us at Sydney Olympic Park last year, got a P6 on debut. He's alongside a guy that's in some hot form right now. The last of the cars take their positions on the grid. Right around the back of the Adelaide hairpin. Look at the cars. You don't just see the green light from there. I don't want to start there. They're still trying to find their grid spots, I think. A couple of cars, Ruth Bowler slowed into position. It's the 40th time the Aussie racing cars are raced here on Adelaide. It was a great start from Young, not so from Tressida. He's going to be eaten alive by the field, including Brendan Pingle. So make the run down to the centre chicane for the first time. So Woods moves up to second, and Tressida, that'll just be nerves. He said he was going to be nervous before this one. Yeah, he did, but he didn't lose too much there, so just get into a groove and get on with it. But yeah, Young, great start. Woods, Pingle, they're all off to a great start. So I think it's just a matter of getting through the first lap, which is all. It's on. And commentary curse. Miles Bond in the 7. He's teamed up with Sam Milton. Waters. Lucky not to get in the side of the Tonsley Smash Repairs entry. That might have come in handy. Bit of debris there. It's not what we hoped for on the first lap, but pretty common in Aussie racing cars. Yeah, I'd say I wouldn't be surprised if it was a safety car soon, but clean up a few debris. But apart from that, everyone was off to a clean start, but unfortunately, that's just what happens. Oh, tough break for Harley Haber, and now the Hertz car. Love the livery of this entry this year. The gold looks really awesome, but Craig Thompson, he's in the fence up there, and they warned him about turn 5, didn't they? Yeah, they did. Down to the bottom, change for the lead here. Woods has got down the inside. He will take the lead at the turn 9 hairpin. Get the feeling this is going to be the first of many lead changes. I think you'll see a lot of passing down into that turn 9 area, even into turn 8. With the slipstream of these cars, they'll be trying to get a bigger run as they can. But obviously, if the safety car comes out, they want to get themselves in the best position possible because it chews the laps down. So here Young might make a dive. I'm not sure, but he's pretty aggressive here.
Having to use a different line. There's a bit of clean-up material from an earlier session today as they come back onto the Barry Sheen pit straight to reel off lap number 1 of 8 here. So Woods, a small margin here ahead of Young. Pingle is next, then Tressida. Walsh, Clues up to 6, then Ubergang, Duckworth back to Blake Skiberis and Grant Ludby as they hit the centre chicane on lap 2.
Watch the flags. There might be an oil flag out here. It's obviously there's a bit of fluid around there, so hopefully the teams have been telling them on the radio. Pretty slippery into there.
Yellow flag's been waved, so it's wiped away one of the passing zones.
Right there,
Look at it.
You don't want to touch that. Get off that.
That is a lot of oil.
Oh,
and there's the car that caused it.
That's right. They got through it so far.
Pretty wild start, and it's wiped out a couple of passing opportunities up the top of Wakefield Street. That's a bit of a fan favourite.
I think that whole that whole area will be stuffed for the race. So I think it's just a matter of trying to set yourself up for another area.
Duckworth
there, just in the toe.
How close do you like it?
Yeah. Ubergame's got some good motor. I think he's driving away. Oh.
Setting up for the run down here. This is Clues.
Yep.
Looking to make the pass down the bottom on Walsh. New livery for him this weekend. One of many. Gives him a tap, and look who makes contact on the inside. Ubergang gets away with it.
Unfortunate.
Safety car's been called.
Is it?
And there's a door missing now off the...
I'd like to see a replay of that. Before you actually blame whoever it is.
You sit back and wait for the replay on this one. I do want to keep my career in this.
Yeah, exactly. But is that smoke from Young's car?
Might have been some of the ash that's on the track down there as they retrieve some of these cars that are caught up in the lap 1 incident. The 25 of Reece Chapman. He shares that car with Chad Chapman up the Chapman Racing team. So perhaps he's dropped all the oil and finally spun on all of that down there at turn 5. That's the curb we talked about on the right-hand side, which is much more aggressive. That is smoke coming out, coming past our commentary position.
It's pretty heavy coming out the right side of that car going down pit straight. Looks like there could be something wrong. Either maybe a right rear shock or something that's dropped down, and maybe
it's Young, and he's working with the steering wheel here.
So looks like he might have felt something there. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell, obviously. See, honestly, I reckon it looks like a shock's gone down on the right side because it's.
You won't be able to feel too much at this speed, will they?
Get a shot of that right rear, but it'd be hard to have a feel of whatever the problem is. But when you see smoke and one of these, see how low it is?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, that sucks.
The pole man is wounded here. He's second.
Too.
Yeah. Pingle is third at the moment behind him, the defending champ. Here's a replay of the start. Kel Tressida.
Oh, mate, he's going to get a tune-up. He's going to get a tune-up later on. But he look, they had a good start by most of the guys. But, yeah, what happened here?
But it was Bond. And I wonder if he's still got brake issues from what he had earlier today.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
And lucky not to turn this into a massive pile-up. It was bad enough. Oh, that's what happened to Reece Chapman. So look at the oil pouring out of car 25 there.
Yes, and sometimes you can't do much about it. Blokes in front of you trying to miss that or trying to get away with it unscathed, and you're just a concertina there. Well, what's a Hertz machine? Oh, he's hit pretty hard.
Tank slap on the way out of turn 5, and he's found the wall on that curb, which is much more aggressive in 2016. Now, this is what happened.
Clues, yeah.
Clues getting turned around. Ubergang gets away. There's a little bit of damage to the front of the number 63 machine. This is a board with Clues, is it? This is with Duckworth.
I generally can't see what happened there. It's one of those things where maybe Clues got a little bit sideways and then it sort of slowed up everyone, and again that's a concertina effect you normally get.
So all these laps count under our safety car here at the moment, the Lexus safety car, which will lead us back around. Probably shouldn't cost us too many laps though.
I'm sure Pingle's sort of seen Young's car here and he's thinking, you know, it's obviously he would be able to see that, and the first thing I'll be doing is trying to get around him as quick as I can, but you never know how much it will slow him down. But I'm sure at the start you're going to see a whole puff of smoke, a massive amount.
He'll be nervous because he doesn't know what's wrong with that car, right? We can see it probably from the outside better.
Yeah. Unless there's crews onto him, but looks like they're going to leave that car there.
The Reece Chapman car, the Red Point sponsored, number 25, parked up against the wall. It's on the inside of turn 5, so looks safe enough there. They're on lap 3, so Woods, Young, Pingle, Tressida is 4th, Duckworth 5th, then Ubergang, Walsh, Skiberis in 8th position, the 2-time karting champ, then Ludby and Stevenson back in 10th. That's Fraser. Brendan Tucker in 12th. Adam Kasukio's moved up to 13th from 20th. Good job to him. Then Pridmore, McNamara, Stevenson, Thompson, Zach Best inside the top 20 as well.
Oh, yeah. I reckon something's seriously gone wrong in that rear. It's just dropped down. But it'll be interesting off the start here. Woods has just crept up there, and he's in the lead. He's a bit of a... I don't know.
Started from 3rd position. He made the best of the starts.
Oh, he's coming in, young.
Oh, what a shame. The pole man is going to
sucks.
come in. And this is more of a safety thing for him. If he can feel that, he'll arrive at the centre chicane, or worse still, the exit out the Wakefield Street right-hand side, end up in the wall. So Lexus safety car is in. We'll start lap 4 halfway home in the first race of the Aussie Racing Car Super Series for 2016. They're all trying to hustle for the best position here. Out comes the green flag, and we're back underway.
I don't know what happened there. It's the front three were completely in a single file, and then everyone was 2 by 2. So that might be a different rule we don't know about. But it's one of those things where it's hard to tell from the commentary box.
They used to be side by side on the restart.
Awesome, isn't it?
Oh no, stand back.
Throw it in, get in there.
As Pingle will be the winner here. He'll go up to 2nd. Duckworth will drop back to 3rd place.
Oh, Oil's still down.
Oh, no, don't go down there.
Oh.
Just going to get squirmed a bit coming down the exit, didn't it?
Is there yellow flags out there for that car? Is it? Oh, throw it in, Cal. There he is. That's what we like to see.
So Tressler gets confident now. He moves up into 3rd position.
Good stuff.
And word from race control, this is the final lap, so it's a 1-lap screamer.
See why they're going crazy.
Yeah.
Push hard. They'll be all in the toe here, trying to get a run.
The run down to turn 8. So Woods, Duckworth, watch Tressler when we get down to turn 9 here. And Pingle.
Got to go, mate. You got to go.
It's not over yet. Far from over. Clues is back in this.
Oh, it's a big move down the back there. Is that Clues?
Yep. Back in the 17 machine.
Ubergang in
And
there
Ubergang,
again.
2 spots for the price of 1.
Same thing happened last time too. Oh, big move, Cal. Good move.
Hey, elbows. Oh, no. Turned into the wall down there at turn 11.
Oh, well.
And that will drop him right down to the back. He's got to wait for all that traffic.
I've seriously got a serious curse on me, I reckon.
Glad it's not me for a change.
Yeah.
Meantime, it's Woods.
Big.
He's going to chalk up the first win of 2016. He comes out of the Adelaide hairpin. 1-lap screamer. He knows he's happy. He's done the job. Does it nicely there, ahead of the champ. Pingle, who'll get 2nd. Duckworth 3rd. Then Ben Walsh. Adam Ubergang, Blake Scaberis, Chris Stevenson. Ludby, good job to him inside the top 10 ahead of Tucker. And Fraser finishes in 10th.
Oh, good job by Woods there. He got out of the trouble and just made sure he's in the clear. So it was good stuff.
What's the advice going to be to Cal tonight?
I don't know if I'll be able to speak to him. He'd be angry. But no, he had to go. He had to have a go. But unfortunately, his last lap, this is what happened. He just lost it on the inside and got put in.
Return serve, wasn't it?
Yeah. Look.
But he'll be doing the back tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So he'll have a crack tomorrow and see what it is.
Moved across and, all on his own, wasn't it? We'll start right down the back of the field. In fact, 30th position in the end. So Woods gets the win in race number 1. 4 of them this weekend. Pingle 2nd, Duckworth 3rd. Down to Walsh, Ubergang, Scaberis, Stevenson, Ludby, Tucker, and Fraser, the top 10. Sort of time certain finish here today. Kasukio, 9 spots up to finish in 11th. Then Pridmore, McNamara, Michael Rinken in 16th. Zach Best on debut in 20th. Back to Wilcox. Lee and Ruth Bowler, 22nd and 23rd. And Kel Tressler down in 30th position on the final lap. Trent Young, the pole man, ended up in the pits, and some of the did not finishers in race number 1. 3 more still to come this weekend. 1 more session still to come on day 1 of the Clipsal 500 here in Adelaide.